You're listening to the Traumedy Podcast with Nancy Norton. This week on Traumedy.
Do you get like goosebumps?
I'm getting them right now.
That's so funny.
Just remembering it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it feels like, maybe your grandmother intervened or something. I'm very spiritual about this stuff.
No, exactly.
And these truth chills,
exactly.
Like you just felt like something.
Right.
Like here it is.
I didn't know what it was that I needed.
Like I'm feeling maybe your grandmother's presence. Who knows? Maybe Lily. Who knows?
Both of them.
Do you feel their presence sometimes?
Yeah. And so that my cousin Lily, she had like this fuzzy blonde hair that she would always dye crazy colors, right? And after she passed, a rosy maple moth like appeared on the doorstep and it looked just like her. What? And so I have like a rosy maple moth tattooed in my armpit. And
because there's hair?
Yeah, so it looks all fuzzy.
Oh wow.
And so like just kind of yellow moths and butterflies just kind of became this symbol or whatever. And so the night
I knew you were my people.
Yeah.
Seriously,
and so the night
though.
before my grandma passed, she sent me a picture of this yellow butterfly that landed on her window. So I think whatever happened that night, she felt visited by Lily and was like, it's time for me to return to you. So she sent me a picture of it. It's time for me to be with Lily. Wow. Goodbye.
You're listening to Traumedy, the podcast that helps you take your pain and play with it. I'm Nancy Norton. I am a former nurse, comedian, and keynote speaker about the power of humor, why we need it, how it helps us.
Bring the power of humor to your next event with award-winning comedian Nancy Norton. Nancy got out of healthcare for the same reason a lot of people get into it, to save lives. Message Nancy at nancynorton.tv. The Traumedy Podcast is sponsored by Crybaby Badass. You have to feel it to heal it. You are a Crybaby Badass luminary. See your light in the mirror. Do you have a trauma? Hey, you listening, do you have a Traumedy story to share? If so, send Nancy a message at nancynorton.tv.
This is a very good episode. Every episode is so good. I love my job. I love my calling. This is a calling, as you know. I cannot not do Traumedy because I need it. I created this because I need it. I need these conversations. I hope by listening in, you get a little something from them as well. I really am learning from every guest some coping skills or some inspiration and always something funny every single time. And this is a mental health podcast, not so much a comedy podcast. Little trigger warning before we get started. This episode deals with depression and suicide and a whole lot of empowerment around all those subjects. So keep breathing. Know you're not alone. If you want to find a comedy show or to connect with me, go to my website, nancynorton.tv. Everything is there. If you are an emergency nurse, come out to the Emergency Nurses Association, the Colorado Emergency Nurses Association Education Conference, December 6th in Denver. And then December 27th, I'll be at Grand Lake with John Novosad. We're going to bring some comedy to the high country, going to drive over Berthoud Pass. And both of us have lazy eyes, so it should be interesting. I'm so excited to spend New Year's Eve in my hometown, Boulder, Colorado, at the Boulder Auto Hotel. I'll be at Comic Sense, spreading a little cheer if you want to come out and celebrate New Year's Eve with me and some other folks at a beautiful setting down there. License number 1 is this really cool, it's this really cool space with amazing cocktails and mocktails. If you want to mock some tails, come on out. If you happen to watch this episode with Evan Joe on video, if you happen to watch it instead of listening to it, do not adjust your sets. No, it is totally out of focus. I don't know what happened. I was messing around with the camera and then I just sat down and started recording, but I don't know. I didn't have on my reading glasses or something. However, I think I look younger. I'm so impressed with comedians who will drop in and share from their heart and also their vulnerability. And this guest is no exception. Wow, what a youngin'. He started comedy at just 20 years old and now only 24, but you can tell he's an old soul. He's been through a lot for such a young man. And what a delight. Thanks for listening, and I hope you're doing okay. Hang in there during this dark month, the darkest days, the longest nights. We can do this. Get your happy light, get some exercise, and we'll see you on the other side. Welcome to Traumedy.
Yes.
My guest this week is a comedian, Evan Joe. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me. All right, round of applause.
Thank you for helping me set up all this stuff in here.
Yeah.
And driving to Boulder, and you're going back to Denver for a show you're producing tonight.
Yep. Forwards and backwards, but...
Is this a regular show? Would you like to tell people if they're in the Denver area?
Yeah,
if
you're in the Denver area, Forest Room 5 in the Highlands, right by the aquarium. It's kind of weird. It's every second and fourth Tuesday.
Okay, I can do this.
Every second and fourth Tuesday of the month. Yeah, always a different lineup, always a good time. It's like a really cool boutique kind of in the back of this bar. And it's just a low ceilings, packed in audience.
Ooh, low ceilings. When comedians hear low ceilings, we get excited.
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, because it holds the energy and the laughter.
Yeah.
And it's that whole mirror neuron thing that I've studied about laughter. Like, people are sitting like this, like kind of chevron style.
Yeah.
Low ceilings, or like at Comedy Works, the arena seating.
Oh, yeah. And it's like that, too, where the laughter just bounces off of the walls. The acoustics are great. It's a former firehouse.
Oh, cool.
And, so it's super cool.
Are there any poles still in there?
No, it's honestly, I can't believe it used to be a firehouse because it just seems like a fire hazard. Honestly, the whole place is all like old books and like old wooden walls and stuff. And like someone flicks a cigarette in the wrong direction, that whole place is going down. Yeah.
All right, we're ready.
But and it's also just one floor. So.
It's one of those. Yeah, we don't hear about the mono floor firehouse too often.
If I was a fireman, I'd be kind of upset. You don't at least get to slide down a pole.
Yeah, man.
That's like the whole thing.
I know. That's the whole incentive.
Yeah.
To be a firefighter is that pole, man.
Slide down the pole, have a Dalmatian, you know? I can't even tell you the last time I've seen a Dalmatian in a fire truck. You know? They're falling off.
Yeah, some of those childhood visions have gone.
Yeah. Well, firefighters, it's like there's barely any fires anymore. So they're just like helping people out of their bathtubs. That's their whole job nowadays. You know? Yeah.
But you're right. There's a lot of lifts, like, what are they called? There's like nursing home calls where you get people off the floor.
Yeah.
I know. My son is studying to be an EMT, and I was telling him there's going to be a lot of there's going to be a lot of lift calls. Everybody needs to be fixed up. Well, you're so young. When did you start comedy?
I started comedy in the summer of 2021.
You're so brand new.
Yeah. It really kind of the whole post-pandemic wave. As soon as people were allowed to do comedy coming out of the pandemic, that's kind of when I started.
I'm so impressed.
Yeah.
Wow, you have so much confidence. You know what you're doing. When did you start being funny? Were you like class clown, or have you just always been funny? Because it seems like you're a lot more competent than just 4 years in.
Well, I think a big aspect of that is that the whole wave that kind of came out of the pandemic, there was really no scene. It was kind of the dregs and remnants of what the scene used to be, and all of the kind of big movers and shakers were still kind of in their houses, and nothing had come back. So we didn't really have an example of what this all should look like and who are the big people to like look up to, and there was just nothing happening. So we kind of all had to start our own shows, and we were a year into it by the time the old heads came around and were like, no, this is how you do it. And we were like, well, it's kind of working the way we're doing it too.
Yeah. So you got to invent your own thing.
A little bit, yeah. And so we just kind of figured it out for ourselves, and I think it helped because there was so much stage time available early on because everyone was locked up in their houses for so long. They're like, I'm not going to start doing open mics. I'm going to start an open mic,
Yeah.
And there was just so many of us that started within 3 months of each other that just kind of became our own mini scene.
I love that. I didn't know this. This makes sense to me now because, there is this thing like when you start in a scene is already established and then you feel like the underling.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to move away to get out from that role of being the newbie. So that's cool that you had your own, like you built your own confidence, you built your own thing. It's like not comparing. One of the things I feel is so damaging is our comparison to each other.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
That's cool.
Yeah, we were just there was kind of this blissful ignorance to the way we were doing it.
I love that. Can that be the name of this episode?
Yeah, blissful ignorance. That's really like, being motivated not by what we're supposed to do, but just by what kind of feels right instinctually. So I think we were able to trust our instincts a lot more than maybe someone coming in now and just everyone kind of says, no, this is how you have to do it. You have to do open mics for 3 years before you can get paid and like this and that. So there was a lot we were doing wrong that we eventually had to kind of unlearn.
Well, maybe. I mean, was it wrong? Or there might, whatever. I hear you. What, like, is there an example of something?
Well, I mean, even just like very basic fundamentals of like, move the mic stand.
Right.
Just stuff like, you know.
I got you.
Things people could have taught us.
Yeah, that where you didn't have to learn that for yourself.
Right.
Like, that blocks the energy if the mic stand stays right. Yeah, that kind of thing. There are those little tips on some of the logistics.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the people we were looking up to were the people that started a month before us. They were like, oh, that's the OG in the scene. Is him.
That's wild. That's so interesting.
Yeah. So we were just kind of flying by the seat of our pants or whatever that term is. And
I think that is the term.
Yeah.
And then I saw you, let's see, when I've seen you most is at doing roasts. You are so good at those roasts.
Oh, thank you.
You're so witty and fast. And was that just something you've always had is that part of your survival trait?
Yeah. So I think that like roasting was a love language growing up, like it was really everything that was going on around us was so like serious and heavy that like, me and my friends just kind of being able to bust each other's balls a little bit.
Yeah, that's how my son is. Now, he's, how old are you? Do you mind if I ask?
No, I'm 24.
Oh my God. So you're really close to his, he's 21, but that generation, you're Gen Z?
Yeah, Gen Z.
Wow, because I do, the way his rapport with his buddies is like, I'm like, really? That's just how you talk to each other.
Right. And then I think it was interesting because the roast battle show was, none of us expected it to get as big and popular as it did, Yeah. And eventually once the scene kind of started to establish itself a little bit more and everyone that was doing it pre-pandemic kind of came back, we started not getting booked as much, and that was like the one show that we could get stage time on, and it was a joke writing exercise.
Yeah.
So it's actually something that I haven't done in a couple years at this point, because I felt like at a certain point I was just kind of getting pigeonholed into only being able to do this one thing.
Oh, gotcha.
And I was like, no, I'm good at that because it's writing jokes. Like I want to branch out. So I kind of stepped away from that for a while.
Oh, you did? Okay.
And,
you still occasionally do it at Denver Comedy Underground?
Yeah, I love judging. That's my favorite
what you do.
thing.
That's what I saw you last doing.
Yeah.
Was judging.
Because that's just being funny on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's my favorite. And you
don't have to hold back.
No, exactly. Exactly.
It's so cool to have that freedom of like, this is the rule. The rule is you can be as snarky or rude or whatever. You don't have to. I mean, it's such a freedom, especially I think for a female too, especially a codependent one like me.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Every now and then when I do a roast, it is kind of fun. But then I do wake up the next day going,
you're like, what did I say?
Yeah,
oh no.
I do sometimes feel like I got too personal about somebody. There's a little part of me that feels a little bad the next day.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But I think at least for me, once it's a great place to just put all your insecurities out there. And once you can laugh at your insecurities, you have power over them.
Yeah. I mean, that is a preemptive thing. Like, what did, oh my gosh, my guest that was on, he was saying during the podcast that I Eminem'd him.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's huge. And like, I feel like a lot of my bits that I like the most now are situations that were like very embarrassing. And I'm like, I need to write the joke before someone else does.
Yeah.
You know, I need to.
And that we did, yeah. And then we kind of did that growing up, didn't we? Mm-hmm. It was Rick Bryan. I was interviewing him. Oh. I mean, he definitely is, like, I'm talking about feeling bad about offloading my whatever, shame energy on myself. Yeah. He's like, oh, what? He probably deserved it,
yeah.
His attitude is a little different. I love it.
Yeah.
It frees me up. But he did. He goes, yeah, you M&M me. Because I took my own insult kind of thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And then, just having power over it, laughing at it. And now it's like, I feel way less insecure than I did when I started comedy.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because of that,
So, hey, okay, so gosh, that means you were just 20 or 21.
Yeah, and the road getting there was pretty traumatic, just so like throughout the whole pandemic. So I'll say right when I was 17, I broke my spine at work.
Oh, wow, you were working. And what kind of work were you doing?
I was a dishwasher at the Melting Pot. Oh, and I had when I was 16, I like moved in with my girlfriend and her family in Boulder, actually, and I moved to the Melting Pot in Louisville. And that restaurant is in an abandoned mine shaft, and so there's no central AC.
Okay,
right? And their thought process was, well, they're actually cooking the food at the tables. The kitchen is more of a prep kitchen, so don't put any AC in there. And I was in the dish pit with like the hot water and everything.
Steam.
It would get 90 degrees there sometimes. And it was just one of those days where I hadn't eaten a lot. I just had like a Monster Energy or whatever. And I was overheating and just getting nauseous. And I was like, I think I'm going to throw up. Can I take a break? And they were like, yeah, why don't you go run some bus tubs? I was like, that's not really a break, but okay. So I'm at the top of the stairs holding a bus tub, and I just I faint. And I fall down the stairs. I break my skull, my spine, my elbow. I pull a hamstring. I cut myself up with dishes everywhere.
Oh, my God.
And yeah, it was brutal. And because of that, I got like workers' comp. But if you get workers' comp, you're unentitled to any government assistance for, I think, 5 years.
What?
Right? So then I lost my job because of COVID, and then I couldn't get unemployment. I couldn't get food stamps. I couldn't get anything. So I was just kind of living off of this settlement throughout the pandemic, right? And I was living with my girlfriend at the time and her family, and literally just for over a year, we were just sitting in a basement, just depressed, growing resentful of each other.
And you're in pain.
Yeah. I mean, it still messes me up to this day.
Oh, man. Did you have to have rods put in, or what did you do for your back?
My bottom 3 vertebrae are like detached pretty much at a 90-degree angle. And they said, so also when I fell, the Melting Pot wasn't like, they didn't call an ambulance or anything. They were like, wait until we can get the list of approved doctors you can go to under our insurance. They didn't give me that list for 3 days.
Oh, no.
So I'm just sitting there with like a body full of broken bones, unable to go to the doctor. Once I finally go, they said like the trauma in the area was so serious that if they tried to do anything, the risk of paralysis was way higher than any like help any surgery would have actually given me. Right.
So you just had to rest?
So I couldn't walk for like 2 months.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You were on bed rest?
Yeah, I was on bed rest, but it was like the week before Spider-Man PS4 came out. So I just had like a bottle of painkillers and a brand new video game. And I just was like Spider-Man for 2 months,
You mastered. I bet you were at the top of the game.
Yeah, well, because he was like running up walls and everything, and I can barely move. And I'm like, all right, here we go. Yeah. And so throughout the pandemic, like I started door dashing just to try to like make some money. And it got to the point in 2021 where I was like, by June, something needs to happen. Like I was so depressed. I was not moving. I literally I would go days at a time without leaving like one room, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, something needs to give. This can't be my life, right? And so I was like, 6 months, June, that's the deadline. Because the other thing about door dashing is over the course of 1 year, I made $12,000 door dashing. When it came time for tax season, I owed $4,000, which I didn't even consider, which obviously, but like I didn't even consider that. So I was like, the reason June was the deadline was because I was like, okay, that's half the year. So then I'll get a real job and that'll like pay for the taxes for that. And I was like, even if it's Walmart, I need to do something with my life. I don't know what it is.
You need some structure. You needed something.
Structure and just like purpose and just something. I didn't know what it was, but it had to be something. So around, I think it was May of 2021, my grandma, who raised me pretty much, like my best friend in the whole world, committed suicide. Oh. And then 2 days after that, my girlfriend breaks up with me.
Oh my God.
And I'm like,
Evan.
I'm like, something needs to, I didn't know this was going to be the change.
Holy
so
shit.
And I mean, this is going to get really trauma dumpy for a second.
No, but
but
we're going to come through it, you guys.
Right. There's the light at the end of this tunnel.
Yeah.
I just want you to know like where I was leading into starting comedy.
And then
right?
not only, I'm already getting that your background is tough because you're raised by your grandmother.
Right.
So, yeah.
And this isn't even childhood trauma, which was crazy, but this was, so I grew up with a cousin. We were 4 months apart. We learned how to walk together. Like we were just best friends more like siblings than cousins, more like best friends than siblings.
Wow.
And she was born with cancer and she beat it as a baby.
She beat it.
Yeah. And then it came back when she was 14.
Oh my God.
And by the time she was 18, it was a death sentence, right? And so she wanted to move to South Carolina to just she wanted everyone to get like a last look at her, and then she wanted to retreat into the woods and die away from everybody.
Alone and not have this memory of me.
Yes. Remember me how I was. And she was like really into the internet. She was one of the first people on TikTok even. And so she had like these internet friends that lived in South Carolina. She's like, I want to go meet them and everything. So they moved down there, and when we were both 18 years old, she like died while I was holding her hand. Wow. Right. And so then they're just now my aunt and uncle and grandma are just living in this trailer in the middle of nowhere in South Carolina. They don't know anybody. They don't have any connections. And now Lily, she's gone. Right. And so 2 years later, now my grandma commits suicide in the same house. So we're planning this trip to South Carolina to just go through all my grandma's stuff. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to move to Atlanta. I don't know why. I like Outcast and Adult Swim. So I was like, are
those based in Atlanta?
Yeah.
I am a little oblivious. So
all of like Cartoon Network is out of Atlanta, and just a lot of the music that I liked came out of Atlanta.
And so it's a hub for you. It's like a creative hub.
It's a creative hub, and it's somewhere I've never been, where I don't know anybody, where I can just figure out what I need to do with my life to get out of this. And so we're down there, and I'm scrolling through Instagram, and Ari Shaffir, the comedian, posts on Instagram that Comedy Works is hiring.
Oh, wow.
And I was sitting there, and it felt like a lighthouse. I felt like this ship that was lost at sea for years that was, I was just a plank of wood at this point, just floating through the ocean. And I saw this lighthouse. I was like, that's it. I'm going to work at a comedy club. I've loved stand-up my whole life. I can actually go somewhere where I can be around it, right?
That's amazing.
So I was like, that's it. So I apply, right? And later that day, I get a call, and it's Wendy.
Wow.
Who I knew who she was
The owner.
since I was a kid. Yeah, the owner of Comedy Work.
Yeah.
I've known about her forever. And she calls, she's like, I'm like, yeah, I know who you are. She's like, can you come in tonight for an interview? I was like, I'm on the other side of the country, but I can be there tomorrow.
Wow,
So,
you were that called.
Yeah. So I get
Did you get like goosebumps?
I'm getting them right now.
That's so funny.
Just remembering it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like it feels like, maybe your grandmother intervened or something. I'm
Yeah.
very spiritual about this stuff.
No, exactly.
And these truth chills, like
Exactly.
you just felt like something.
Right.
Like here it is.
I didn't know what
I'm
it was
getting
that
them
I
too.
needed.
Like I'm feeling maybe your grandmother's presence. Who knows? Maybe Lily. Who knows?
Both of them.
Do you feel
know?
their presence sometimes?
Yeah. And so that my cousin Lily, she had like this fuzzy blonde hair that she would always dye crazy colors, right? And after she passed, a rosy maple moth like appeared on the doorstep, and it looked just like her. What? And so I have like a rosy maple moth tattooed in my armpit, and
because there's hair.
Yeah. So it looks all fuzzy.
Oh wow.
And so like just kind of yellow moths and butterflies just kind of became this symbol or whatever. And so the night
I knew you were my people.
yeah. And so the night
though.
before my grandma passed, she sent me a picture of this yellow butterfly that landed on her window. So I think whatever happened that night, she felt visited by Lily and was like, it's time for me to return to you. So she sent me a picture of it. And like, I remember waking up that morning and being like, well, that's not good. Like, why is she sending me this? And
you knew.
I knew.
You know her well enough.
I knew her well enough that she was saying, it's time for me to be with Lily. Wow. Goodbye. Wow. And so, yeah, I get the call. I'm like, I can be there tomorrow. I drove 27 hours straight, stopping only for gas and at Walmart to get a button-up shirt for the interview.
I'm so impressed with you.
And
you did it.
I did. I was like here, and I was like, I better get this job. If I don't get this job, I might be joining grandma.
Oh man.
So
if I don't get this job and a butterfly shows up,
yeah, that's a sign. Yeah. So yeah, I got the job. And it was to be a door staff. And I go there and I can't even believe it. At this point, I've only seen comedy, on the radio. Comedy 103.1 was like a huge inspiration. And like hearing you on that back in the day. And
old Nance and the dildos.
Exactly. Yeah. And just so many of these people that I grew up admiring. And I didn't even know, because of Comedy 103.1, they would play like you right next to Chris Rock, right next to...
Yeah, so you don't know, I'm just a local comic.
I had no idea. I thought everybody was Chris Rock.
We have a good scene here.
One of the best in the world.
I don't want to brag, but like we have some quality. Not everybody's famous, but we have quality comedians.
Yeah.
And we got to give a shout out to George, who ran 103.1, because that was such a staple.
Okay. I'm so glad you said that. If I ever get the chance to meet him, I just want to. I would love to just thank him for everything he's done for my life.
I will tag him on this. Yes. I will tell him because a lot of people have told me they heard me on there, and it's such a when we talk about a traumedy and like people that are commuting to work or they're having a bad day. I'm always saying like turn on comedy if you can, and it was so nice locally that we had that comedy channel.
That's great because I've asked a lot of people. I was like, who was the DJ on that channel? Because his taste inspired my taste in such a way.
What's his last name? I have his contact. Hang on,
I didn't even know his first name was George, to be honest with you.
You see me with my name thing. At this age, I have to look stuff up. But it's GIMARC. George. Okay. George G. Mark.
Something
I don't know
like
how
that.
to say it.
But we'll put it in post.
But we'll put it in post. And actually, he has todayscomedy.com. So I think he has an internet. Okay. I think he has an internet.
Yeah, because I know it moved to like iHeartRadio for a while, but it's gone now.
Is it gone? Okay, because I haven't talked to George. He usually goes to High Plains. But anyway, we'll give a shout out to George, and I'll try
shout out George.
I'll actually just text
Thank you for everything you've done for my life, and seriously, one of the biggest inspirations in the world to me ever.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah, and just the way he would talk about comedy too.
Oh, he's so passionate about
Yes,
it, and he
and-
knows all these stories over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And obviously I always saw it as an art form, but hearing him talk about it so deeply, I was like, no, this is something else.
It's a culture.
It is.
It's so there you are. You're like, all of a sudden, you'd never been in a comedy club.
I've never been in a comedy club, and I'm just looking at these walls. I'm like touching the walls, like George Lopez touched this wall, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so many famous comics have come through Comedy Works.
Yeah.
That's been my home club since 1991. I mean, there is almost like a haunting, like museum feel in there.
Yeah,
there's
the
some ghosts.
history is
There
like
is a little bit of ghost
in the
energy,
walls.
especially downtown.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
even the South Club, that's you know now it's over 10 years old. It might be 15 years old.
2008, so 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah.
So it's 17 years old. And I mean, Wendy did it up right with all the sparkle and all that. She made that
it's beautiful. And
top
that's
notch.
so that's the South Club was where I first worked, because keep in mind it's still 2021. Like the downtown club is still closed. It's been closed for 18 months. It's even at the South Club, it's like spaced out seating. They're not seating the mezzanine, and it's like, it's still weird. You know?
Yeah, we're still having to do all that COVID stuff.
Yeah. So, and I had just turned 20 years old, like when this is all happening. So I work one shift as a door staff.
Fast, dude. You grew up fast.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Well, I was more or less on my own since I was like 14.
Wow.
And
Yeah, when you're telling me you're dedicated at working, like washing dishes at 16, living with your girlfriend, and at 14, you had to start taking care of yourself.
And it was through close-up street magic. I learned magic, and I would just go on the street. Oh. And I just kind of stopped going to school, because I was like, well, what the point of school is to get a job. It's like, I'm making more money than my mom right now just doing card tricks on 16th Street Mall.
No way.
You know? Yeah.
Did you grow up around here in Boulder then?
So I grew up in like South Denver. But when I moved in with that girl, she lived in Gun Barrel.
So you moved in when you were 14?
16.
16. That's when you started.
I moved in with my aunt when I was 14, because that's when my cousin's cancer came back. Oh. And so I just kind of started just supporting them, because my aunt couldn't work. So me and my uncle were trying to bring money into the household and everything like that.
Because your aunt was taking care of her. And so
right. We were all taking care of each other.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful family.
Yeah, it was. And
what happened to your mom and dad? Were they just out of the picture?
I love my mom. So my mom is the best person in the world. My dad was an alcoholic. He was a drug addict. He was pretty abusive, and he left when I was 14.
Oh. So that's why you had to.
Same time. Yeah. And my mom, I didn't realize this till a lot later. She was the only one that was like 100% through and through there for me. And so she was the one I was taking it all out on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you don't realize.
No, and to me, my dad still hung the moon, and I didn't want to admit to myself that he was who he was. You know?
Yeah.
And I do think he was a very good person. I just think drugs kind of turned him evil.
Man,
you know?
I mean, that addictive brain, it does force.
Yeah.
It has its own agenda.
Yeah.
And other people don't matter. And, your word doesn't matter. All kinds of different things go by the wayside.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad you have that perspective. But also, like, as you know, I'm a single mom, and I mean, my son, I nag him a lot.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I'm sure I annoy the heck out of him.
Yeah.
And then I get stressed, and I offload some of my tension onto him, and then I have to make amends. So
right. And I'm sure it goes both ways too. And my mom and I, we're so much alike. We would just butt heads.
Yeah.
You know? And my dad, his dad was way worse than him. And he was like a touring musician from the time he was 14 years old.
Your dad was?
My dad was.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you have performers.
Definitely.
You've got natural performance. Because I'm thinking, if you're doing, is it called busking when you're out there?
Yeah.
Kind of doing close-up magic.
Street performance. Yeah.
Like, so you're just, you had to like overcome whatever.
It was the only kind of way I knew.
You didn't have fear.
How?
You were,
I was
natural.
excited to do it. I loved it, you know? And then once I once like puberty hit me in a way where I was just all like pimple face and weird voice, it was not as cute anymore. So people were like not giving me a bunch of money. They were like,
oh dang,
get out of here. So that's kind of when I stopped doing
rough,
that.
dude.
Yeah.
You're not as, I'm sorry, you've lost your cute factor.
And then I realized like, oh, I'm not as good as I thought I was. It was just crazy that a kid was doing this.
They were just impressed. Like, look at this guy. Let's encourage him.
Right. And then like all of the other like street magicians were like getting mad at me because they were like, people can tell how you're doing this, and then they're not impressed when we're doing it the right way.
Oh, you're so you're revealing the tricks.
Right. And I was like, oh, I'm actually really not that good at this.
You're not palming the card as well.
Right. They could like see it poking through my fingers or whatever. The smoke and mirrors had been revealed.
That's an interesting whole culture there.
Yeah.
Of the other street performers like, this kid, get this kid out of here.
Yeah, he's on my block.
Did people give you shit? Like, did they?
Yeah, big time. No, like I pretty much got ran off of 16th Street Mall.
It's very territorial, huh?
Yeah, it is.
You tell me who gave you shit. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I'll be heckling them next time down there.
I'll get that. You know who was really cool and always supportive, and this is like a Denver deep cut, was Robo Mike. Robo Mike. He would always stand on 16th Street Mall, and he had this big robot costume, and he would
If I ever see him, we gotta
shout out Robo Mike. He was on America's Got Talent.
Wow.
And he didn't wear the robot costume. He was like in a button up. I was like, what? Wear the costume.
Dude, that's your thing.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Now, between your ADHD and mine,
yes,
I will take us on a couple of journeys. But I think it was important. Part of me was curious, like how you ended up, with aunts and grandmas and things like that.
Right.
So
and so my dad, even when he was in my life, he was on tour about 6 months out of the year. Wow. Right. He was in like Russia or Germany or Australia or whatever.
And he's just not in your life anymore?
Yeah, I haven't seen him in about 10 years. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe someday.
Maybe. It's complicated. Like my sister still tries to have a semblance of a relationship with him, and he just lets her down so much that it's like you need to make it right with her before anything happens, And
you still have contact with your mom.
Yeah. So my mom, once we didn't live in the same house anymore, our relationship was really able to like mend and heal and become like the beautiful thing that it is now. You know,
and I keep hearing about sons like at 24-ish is when it kind of like, I mean, that's the myth among the moms, because I do all those mom shows. Yeah. And like you keep hearing like, when they're 24, they come back. My son I can tell a difference.
And I gave my mom hell. I made it. I was such a bad kid.
Dude.
Not even in a funny way, just like in just a really bad, because I was subject to a lot of violence that I was not processing. Yeah. And so I just kind of
it was coming out,
projected all of that onto just by being destructive, and never to like people or animals or anything other than myself. But I was a mess, and I was having a really hard time. Yeah. And then I don't know, just like finding drugs at a young age and stuff too. I was giving her a hard time. Yeah. And so you give her credit. Yes. You give her credit. But she stayed there. She never turned her back on me. And we're giving shout outs to your mom too. Yeah. Shout out mom. But like the amount of time she had to like come see me in a mental hospital without like shoes on and stuff, like, because you really let yourself just go all the way until you found the edge, and then you went a little farther. It sounds like. And then I think I calmed down a lot. I found LSD when I was 16, and it taught me a lot, and it calmed me down, and I was out of the house at that point too. And everything that was just like this violent aggression kind of just turned into a sedated depression, Yeah. They do say depression is anger turned inward. No, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
But with LSD, and I've never done LSD, I've done some other psychedelic therapies.
Yeah.
But did you just get a bigger perspective or something? Is that what?
Yeah, I did. And just the world became a lot like warmer and beautiful. And it just like literally overnight, I was like, oh, I'm mad at my dad. That's what this is, you know?
Yeah. And you
It's
just
like,
did not want to see that.
I couldn't admit. And even at this point, he'd been gone for 2 years and I still...
You still had him on a pedestal, but the truth came through, and it's like I'm angry, and
and Lily was dying, and I was like, "This is silly."
A lot of powerlessness. You know? Oh, this is silly that you were having what?
That I'm just like so bitter towards the world, you know?
Yeah, you didn't want to be like that around Lily.
Yeah,
you wanted to be present with her.
Exactly.
Wow.
And so.
Here we are. We're back to Comedy Works.
We're back to 2021.
You're touching the walls at
Everyone's dead.
You gotta laugh. There you go.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still here, touching the walls at Comedy Works. Like, I found what I'm gonna do with the rest of my life. Not be a comedian. Work at a comedy club.
Just be around it.
Be around it. Because, like, I've always thought, being a comedian would be cool. Being an astronaut would be cool, too. But that's not feasible.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. It felt out of reach.
Yeah, and then even once I started to see the shows at Comedy Works, it was still out of reach. You know? And so I'm there, standing around. I had the one training shift as a door staff. And then my second shift, I'm like doing something and someone's like, hey, do you want to come out like drinking with us after this? And I was like, oh, I'm actually not 21. I can't get in. And they're like, well, how did you get this job? And I was like, I don't know. They took, and then the next day, Jeffrey Fisher, who's a big boss at Comedy Works, comes to me and he says, hey, I'm sorry. You can't have this job. You're not old enough. And it all came crumbling down. I was like, I can't. I was like, there has to be something. There has to be something I can do that allows me to be here. I need
I'll wear the wristband.
Yes, I'll put X's on anything. And he said, well, Lucy needs food runners. And Lucy is the restaurant attached to the South Club.
Right.
And I was like, as long as I can have my door staff job back in 9 months when I turn 21, I'll literally, whatever it takes to be a part of this. Right.
Dude, that's amazing.
So I start food running, and that was great because by the end of our shift, the late show would be starting. So I would go get to sit up in the mezzanine, and I watched Tim Dillon's set 5 times over, you know, because he was like the first full weekend I got to see. And I was doing that. And then it started to get a little frustrating because
your excitement is kind of rubbing off on me. Like sometimes I forget how cool it is that we do comedy.
Yeah, and like seeing you there and like all the local people.
Bring up old Nance. But seriously though, I take it for granted sometimes. And I mean, I remember you're just reminding me of when I started. And I started as a comedian, and I had never been in a comedy club, and it was just like, I can't believe I'm doing this. It's been a dream since I was a little kid, and it's like, so thanks for reminding me. You know, sometimes we can get a little jaded, this gig or that gig, and it's like, no, man,
it's such cool what's happening,
and our friends like to hang out with cool, fun, creative people.
Yeah, and just to be surrounded by people I've looked up to for years, you know.
Yeah, but even look sideways too. You know what I mean? I'm just saying as a peer,
right?
Like, I love at this point in my life that I still get to hang out with people your age, millennials, all these different age groups where there's a timelessness part of us that I, maybe through the psychedelics, that I definitely feel like I am connected to a fun, like soul group of creators.
Absolutely.
And even though I don't mean Instagram creators, even though we have to do some of that.
Unfortunately.
But I just mean like genuinely people that are excited to share an idea.
Well, and that's what was so cool is like going from looking up to these people to becoming peers to then the certain people are like, oh, that's like actually a terrible person that that I never should have looked up to. You know?
I hope that doesn't happen with old Nance. But I will say,
of course not.
I love that you said, I'm going to do what I have to do because now, but it was all perfect, wasn't it? Like you had to go in there, touch the walls, feel the like, I can't believe I'm here, and then lose it,
and
then,
calling,
but then because
no,
would you have
I
been,
need this.
Because would you have been willing to come to Denver to be a food runner? No, you know,
Right.
It
No,
had to go this way for you to get the bug, to just get.
And then so after a few. I think it was, I don't know if it was weeks or it was probably a matter of weeks. I had just, I started to I don't know if jaded is the word, but it was kind of, the reality was setting in a little bit. And I was like, man, I took a pay cut to do this. And so I was also living in my car at this point.
Oh, let's keep that in mind.
Yeah. So I was like sleeping in Home Depot parking lots because I was like, hey, I'm still at home. Right. And so
I believe you when you say that. There was a part of you that saw the word home.
And I was like, this is, or you know, other people that worked in the kitchen that are now comedians that are some of my best friends, like sleeping on their couches or going to my mom's house and sleeping on the futon some nights or just whatever.
Yep.
And it was just getting to the point where I was like, they kept cutting my hours. I was making minimum wage. And I was like, this is literally not sustainable. And there was someone else that the same thing happened to. They were 20 years old and they put them door staff, and then they moved him to Lucy and gave him a serving job. And I was like, listen, I took a pay cut and an hours cut due to your mistake. And we're both 20 years old. I guarantee you I have more restaurant experience because I dropped out of high school at 14. And by 17, I was managing my own restaurant in Boulder.
Wow.
Like where I was legally not even allowed to be there past 11 p.m. And I was there till 5 a.m. every night. You know, it was Fat Shack on the hill in Boulder. I was a manager at 17. And so I was like, I know I have more restaurant. This isn't an experience issue.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and then they gave her the higher paying job. And I was like, man, this is not coming together. And I almost quit.
Yeah.
I really almost quit. And the day that was happening, Wendy happened to come in, and I'd never seen her in person before.
Oh yeah. Because she's at headquarters,
right,
offsite.
Right. And so she came in, and I'm generally like a socially timid person. Like I'm not very extroverted around people I don't know, unless you're
doing
stage.
magic.
Yes, exactly. But like I guess
Wendy, come over here, pull a card.
confrontation is something I like try to avoid.
Okay.
And I don't know what came over me, but I saw her and I went up to her and I was like, you don't know me. Here's who I am. I want nothing more than to like move to Denver and dedicate myself to this company. I want to dedicate my life to this company. I can't do that on 6 hours a week of minimum wage work. And she goes, you want to work? All right. She writes down an address, says, come here at 10 o'clock tomorrow.
What?
And it was the corporate office.
Yeah.
Right. And so I'm like, this is crazy. And I feel it all over again. I'm like, here I am. I get there. I pull up to the corporate office, and it's still pandemic. So there's like a lot of like blocks that are taken over by like homeless communities. And the front of the corporate office was kind of like that. So I park, it's a little sketchy. I get in, she's like, all right, you're going to run these errands for me. You're going to take my car. You're going to take my car. And I'm like, this is crazy. So she shows me where her car is, and it's in the back. I'm like, oh, perfect. So I'm like, do you mind if I move my car back here? It just seems like so I move my car back there. I get in her car. I immediately crash her car into my own parked car.
Oh no.
Just immediately, I'm like, oh no. Like it was again, I was like, okay, I got it. I lost it. I got it. I was like, I drive away in her car. Like just free. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can see my car in the rearview mirror.
Oh,
and it's messed up.
Oh,
you know?
shit.
And so I pull over, I like look at her car, it's dented, the taillight's out, all of this. And I'm like, I just ruined my life. My life is over. So I call her. She couldn't be nicer about it. It's totally fine. And I kind of become her assistant, almost like her gopher, kind of. And literally the downtown club had not been open for 18 months. There was all this like salt sediment on all the walls. And I had a wire toothbrush and I scrubbed every inch of that wall with a wire toothbrush. The P-traps were broken. It smelled like sewage. It was just covered in dust and debris. And we literally turned that place into a construction site. and kind of rebuilt the whole downtown club, built the bar tops out of epoxy, put all the chairs there.
I didn't know you
stapling
guys did all that.
And like literally the wire toothbrush scraping all the salt off the walls for weeks and weeks and weeks.
Salt on the walls.
Yeah.
Like just a buildup of minerals.
Yeah, because it's such an old building. And someone explained it. They said it was like the salt that they put on the road when it snows is somehow seeping through. I'm like, I don't really know how
But anyway, you cleaned that place. I didn't know that you did all that.
Yeah, and literally brought it back. And I remember the first weekend they had a show there. It was like Mark Maron and Sam Talent.
Wow.
And I forgot that it was a real club, not a construction site. And it was wild. And I'd started to make these friends that worked at the club. And at one point, one of them was like, hey, we're gonna go watch an open mic tonight. You should come. And I was like, oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you. So I remember I was with Wendy and she actually drove me to my very first open mic.
No way.
Yeah. And I was like, you should come inside. Just make everybody sweat. She drove me to my first one and I was just there to watch. And I sat down and it was terrible in the best possible way.
Okay.
Because I had never put the two and two together that like people suck. I thought it was just all these great comedians that were just always great comedians that just, not that was my active thought process, but
you
that's
just didn't know.
I didn't think about it.
People don't know how many years it takes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I go to this open mic and I'm like, I could suck. I like, it wasn't like, I think I can be good at comedy. It was like, I can be just as bad as these people.
Yeah. I can do at least that good or that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'd had a little notepad that I would scribble jokes on for forever. Not that I was ever going to do anything with it. It was just a creative outlet.
Wow. That's amazing.
And so I was like, I'm going to sign up for next week. I'm going to come back and I'm going to put 5 minutes together and I'm going to do this open mic.
I love it.
And for a while, I was under 21. It was the only way to get into bars, not even for drinking purposes, just because it was a warm place to be at night.
Oh, right, because you're still living in your car.
And everything closes at like 6 o'clock because it's still the pandemic. So it's like places that are open till midnight that I could go, hang out, and I fell in love with it. I did 2 open mics the first night, and since that day, the longest I've gone without doing comedy is 4 days.
Wow.
And it was for like a traveling situation. So
this is amazing, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
That is a path. That is like a calling.
Yeah. And
that's incredible.
There were trials and I feel like everything synced into play. And I was like, this is what I'm going to do with my life. This is it. And then, like I said, and then you start digging through your past to come up with material. And now you're like healing from these traumatic childhood experiences because you're able to write comedy about it. And you're able to deal with your insecurities because you're in these roast battles and you're able to.
Yeah, because people are going to, I love your bit. What is your bit about? Do I look like Weird Al?
Oh, yeah. So that was one where just literally every day in my life, 4 people come up to me and say I look like Weird Al. And I'm like, well, now I just need to say that before they can. It's the end of 8 Mile,
Yeah. The Eminem.
Yeah, exactly. I know what I look like. I know.
I do live in a trailer park. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying, so it was like, I look like Weird Al.
Yeah. And
who did estrogen or something like that?
Yeah. And I have a million of those because early on, that's like how I would start when I couldn't think of anything. I'm just like, all right, write 10 jokes about yourself and then go from there. And so the rest is history,
The rest is history.
And I've found like the deepest friendships I've ever known. I found like purpose. I've been able to, I still struggle with mental health, obviously. But
it's not obvious to me, but I believe you.
Thank you.
No,
yeah.
it's not obvious to me.
But I'm not just in like this just pit of despair with no hope,
Yeah.
There's always something to do about it now.
Well, yeah. And you've got that outlet, you've got the friends.
Yeah.
And you've got purpose, like you just said.
Yeah.
And then Do you have specific goals, or is there a way people could help you towards your goals? Like, how do they see your, one of the biggest things for us, of course, is like, give us a follow on the Instagram and the TikTok, or do you have the same handle on both of those? Or
Yeah, it's just, it's Evan Joe TV, which I took from you.
Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Because yours is Nancy Norton TV.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's great. I mean, I had to use that on my website because nancynorton.com is a jeweler, if anybody needs some jewelry. But then I was like, nancynorton.net, nancynorton.but, and then I found you could do nancynorton.tv, and I thought, I like the sound of that.
There we go.
And then I just started using it as my handle. Well, I am honored that you're doing Evan Joe, and it's EVANJO TV.
JOE.
Oh, it is
E at the
JOE.
end. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it had a JOE.
JOE TV.
Somehow I put you in with just a JO, and I thought
That works too.
no, that doesn't work. I don't know where I didn't hear the E, because Evan Joe sounds more like Bobby Joe, which you know, again, back to Weird Al on estrogen.
Yeah. So it's funny. My grandma, she was born Barbara Joe Alameda, right? And my grandpa, he was Jimmy Joe. And so when they got married, her name became Barbara Joe Joe. Yeah, which was maybe the first sign that marriage was a mistake.
Yeah. Just so you have this room, people can come see you.
Yeah.
Are you starting to tour nationally, or how's it feeling? What's up for you? Getting the travel. I never traveled very much as a kid, and I've gotten to like see the world because, well, America. So you've been going around?
Yeah, I have. I've seen so many places that I never thought I could see.
Isn't it cool? Like towns, that you would never go to.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Especially in my 30s is when I did most of my road touring.
Yeah.
And I loved a road. I love a road trip.
It. Yeah.
And are you still living in your car?
No. I got a house. I live with comedians. And it's been awesome. And this is the first place I've lived since I was a little kid where I actually like put my stuff up on the walls, and I took everything out of a box, and I like allowed it to be a home more than just a place where I was, you know?
I love this.
Yeah. And
this is a great story. This has been the best story time. I wish we had a little campfire right here, because it feels like, I mean, I love that you shared so in depth about your journey and your traumas and that, and just the way you've come through them. I mean, I think it's a great example.
Yeah. It's really,
it's a perfect Traumedy episode.
Oh, thank you.
So thank you for doing Traumedy, and
of course,
everybody follow Evan Joe.
And then later I guess in 2026, I'm gonna like take all the best material I've come up in my first 5 years of comedy, and I'm gonna like record an album with it.
Yes, keep us posted.
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
wait. Do you have a sense of where you're gonna record it?
Yeah, at Comic Sense in Boulder, in the basement of Hotel Boulderado.
Oh, I love Comic Sense.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah,
it's such a I gotta get Jesse Carter on the show.
Oh, Jesse's the man. He just recorded a special down there. He's been taking me on the road a bunch. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, I can't wait for that. Keep me posted, and then we'll share it again. We'll have you back on.
Yes.
When you do that.
Yeah, we'll break down some of the material in it.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Evan Joe.
Oh, thank you, Nancy. This was a pleasure.
Thanks for coming.
Anytime.
Thank you.
All right.
I love this. You're amazing, man.
That was awesome.
I kept hearing myself say, "You're amazing," and I'm like, Nancy, stop saying amazing.
Yeah. Well, that was actually.
I gotta have another word.
My grandma, her nickname for me was AJ because it was Amazing Joe. So, yeah.
I think we just got that on video.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Say that again. I just want to say that again, because that is amazing.
Yeah.
All right. No, this is worthy. This is our post roll.
Yeah.
So I was just saying, I kept hearing myself say amazing, and I'm like, Nancy, get a thesaurus.
Yeah.
And then you said, this is why I kept saying it, because your grandma's here.
My grandma, her nickname for me was AJ because it was Amazing Joe.
Amazing Joe.
Which is, I've never said that to anybody, but yeah.
That's beautiful. Oh, thank you, Grandma.
Yeah.
Grandma's here.
Love you, Grandma. Yeah.
I love her too.
Oh.
I think that's part of it. I'm not even kidding you, because I kept saying, why do I keep saying amazing?
Yeah, that was her nickname for me.
I'd like to thank my guest, Evan Joe. Find Evan Joe on Instagram and TikTok, Evan Joe TV. And watch for his special. We're going to be having him back to talk about his special coming up. And check the show notes for any links that you might be looking for, anything we referenced in this episode. And I want to thank my son, Nathaniel Norton, for putting together the music loop for Traumedy. I've asked a friend tonight at the Comedy Works Christmas party to write a Traumedy theme song, so we'll see what happens. Michael Isaacs, who is a guest, he is just such a whimsical character himself. He channels these muses, and he said, yep, that's going to percolate for a few days, and then I'll get back to you with a Traumedy theme song. So I'm excited, so let's see what wants to happen with that. Thank you for listening, and reach out if you want to be a guest on Traumedy. I would love to have you. And again, seriously, thank you for being a part of the Traumedy community. Maybe that's going to be in the theme song. So, I don't know. All of a sudden, I was hearing the Beverly Hillbillies. Have a heapin' helpin' of our community. Traumedy, that is. Dark episodes turn to light. And remember, no matter what, keep laughing.